Look at this game. I will try to be faster than in my previous video. We can see that I was down by 19 points. We look at Jeremy's deck, we see some cards, obviously. I noticed 4 platinum. That's a pretty high count of platinum. My deck, unfortunately, has 3. So if we look at the board, one of the biggest things to note is Corsair. This is a Corsair game, which means when it's in play from your opponent, you trash the first silver or gold you play each turn. So that sort of explains why the silver and gold count is so low, 1 and 1. Whereas his was 3 gold, no silver. So his deck didn't have any silver, he sometimes had to avoid playing, and he ended up being able to keep 3 golds. So apparently his 3 Corsairs were hitting faster than my 3 Corsairs. When we look at trash cards, we see that we're only trashing at 7, the top end, which is rough because sometimes you'll hit 7 and get lucky and get it. Sometimes you'll have to use an expand to get an expand, so you're stuck with expands. The bonus actions clearly ran out probably pretty quickly. Also, one thing to know about this card, when you gain it, you may set aside an action or treasure from your hand and play it at the start of your next turn. So when a Corsair is in play, sometimes you're forced to purchase this just to hide a gold. So that can be a rough situation. Courtier. When you play it, you reveal a card. For each type it has, you choose an action, buy 3, or gain a gold. One thing to note with this is that we have 1 double here, and we have a triple here. So Corsair combined with Courtier ends up working out in your favor. So Jeremy did have 3 and 1. I also had 3 and 1. Bubbling's deck, she had 3 platinum. She went the Diplomat route, which isn't a bad idea in a game with Corsair, because Corsairs are going to hit quite a lot. 6 of them were sold. She's the only one that bought Diplomat. I think that if I had picked up an early Diplomat instead of maybe one of the Farmhands, I could have had more deck thinning, because one thing it does is when you reveal it, when you're attacked and you draw 2 and then discard 3, your hand ends up being 4 cards. So then when you play it, you draw 2 up to 5 and you get the bonus actions from it. So it gives you card selection and bonus actions at a relatively low cost, because if it's in your hand, you get to do it for free and then you keep it. So yeah, looks like it was kind of a rough game. Jeremy and my decks were similar. He did have 1 more platinum. I also had an estate I wasn't able to get rid of. I had 2 banks and 3 expands, so I had more cost there. His cost jumped either to platinums or colonies, so he clearly was hitting his 9s and 11s better than I was, especially his 11s, because he beat me by 20 points.